That seems fine. All right, all of our stuff has hexproof now. Nice. That is going to be hopefully a shield counter coming in, because I can vanishing verse it, no problem. I think I was correct in holding open the vanishing verse here on display. They can't destroy my enchantment because it has hexproof. It has hexproof. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, feels bad, man. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing something that has been a very long time coming, because this is by far the most requested archetype I've been asked about since the conception of my channel. We are playing for the first time a rainbow deck, and we are playing all 5 colors of Magic has to offer, which means that the creativity is endless, because when you add all 5 colors to a deck, every single card is on the table. So with that being said, before we break this down any further, if you are new here and you find any value in today's video, if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, it is a free way to help grow and support the channel, and I'd greatly appreciate that. With that being said, let's talk about today's list. So being that we're all 5 colors, like I just stated, it's kind of endless creativity. Your options are just endless here. We decided that we are going to go with a Prismatic Bridge as our primary win con. If you don't know, Prismatic Bridge is a 5 color, all 5 colors. It's an enchantment that allows us to pull a free creature or planeswalker onto the battlefield every single turn, which is pretty busted, but kind of hard to resolve. But we have a bunch of really good creatures and good planeswalkers. We have 3 Wandering Emperors as our planeswalker of choice. Wandering Emperor has some of the best removal, some of the best flex mechanics to it, and it's more of a control type of a planeswalker, which is really good because Prismatic Bridge is 5 colors, kind of hard to resolve. And when you play it, you typically are taking an entire turn off and taking some damage potentially. So you're going to want your deck, at least my deck personally, I want to build a control shell around it to try to keep us alive long enough for the Prismatic Bridge to go off and start collecting us some really good threats. So Wandering Emperor I thought would be the best planeswalker to do that. And then we've also got a bunch of creatures, and these are... Wandering Emperor is going to help us stay alive. The creatures are going to help us end the game. We chose a plethora of really good creatures. We got the Titan of Industry, we've got the Toxrill, Jin-Gitaxias, Vorinclex, and then we also have Ababruck Caretaker, which if we can pull Vorinclex first, almost every time that's going to be the best thing we can pull, because everything else in here kind of gets supported pretty heavily through the Vorinclex. We've got planeswalkers getting double counters. Averbuck's going to spit out a bunch of counters on our creatures at double the amounts. We've got Toxrill is going to do its double counters to kill everything a lot quicker. And then the Titan of Industry is going to put 2 shield counters on something, which is really nice. So everything works really well with Vorinclex. I think that's kind of the key creature we want to hit the battlefield first. We've also got a Celestis for ramping, but also it's going to allow us to turn it to nighttime for Avabruck to go off a little bit better and give all of our creatures hexproof. And like I said, the rest of the deck is pretty much a control shell. We got a full playset of Doomscars because everything is super fast right now. We've got 3 bindings for removal, but also it's going to help us find triomes. These triomes are going to allow us to bring, you know, more colors to our battlefield, which we're going to need, I'm sure. We got Broker's Charm as a choice of removal because this is going to allow us to give one of our creatures +1 and then deal damage to equal to its power, which all of our creatures are very, very big. We've also got a draw 2 mechanic on here, which is really helpful because we need some card draw, and destroying an enchantment could be helpful in some cases. And then we've got 3 Expressive Iteration because this is really early. It's a 2-drop. It's going to help us find the pieces we need. This is one of the best 2-drops for drawing cards that you can ask for. And then we've got 3 Vanishing Verses for removal, because I think it's still one of the better removal pieces you can have. I know there's a lot of multicolored things going on, but still very strong removal. And then we got 2 Test of Talents. This is going to hit things like Invoke Despair in mono black decks, some really cool hits, but we've got it down to 2 for a reason. There's not a whole lot of targets for it, but the ones that it does hit can shut down someone's deck pretty easily. And then lastly, we have the Kami War. Doesn't really fit in synergistically, but if you do draw this and you have the right mana to play it, it's pretty busted because, you know, for 6 mana to exile something is like pretty expensive, but you have any target you want, and then after that it starts to go to Saga 2 and 3, and you're going to get a lot more value out of it. You know, being able to bounce something back to your opponent's hand and making them discard is a lot of value, but then also bringing in a 6/6 You know, a flying trample and does all, you know, does all sorts of stuff. This thing is really, really powerful. Once it gets rolling, it's nice, but you know, waiting till turn 6 just to exile something may not seem great, but if you're controlling the board pretty good up until that point, gaining some life with the Wandering Emperor, sweeping the board, you can get some really good value out of the Kami War. But that is the deck, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's gameplay footage. It is pretty awesome, some of the games we got with this thing. We got some tweaking to do still, I think. Like I said, 5 colors to me personally, I feel like it's very hard to get it to a higher tier of competitiveness. But today's list was a lot of fun still, and I really enjoyed the games that we got. So enjoy the video, and then we'll meet back here at the end for some final thoughts. Until then, guys, peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a rainbow build for you guys today. An absolute monster of a deck. If it can go off, it goes insane. I've yet to play any rainbow on this channel ever, which is crazy because it seems like it'd be right up our alley, right? But it's like, for whatever reason, we just have never gotten to it. This hand, though, I'm a little scared to keep this hand. If we find a blue source, it could be really good, though. I've always been afraid to play these types of decks because of the mana base. They seem really hard to get to come together, and I'm hoping that's not the case here today. I hope we're okay and we figure this out. But we've been tinkering with the mana base all day, and it's been really tricky. I've got to be completely honest with you. It's been extremely tricky for us. I left the Vanishing Verse as a possibility as an open spell here, but I don't think for a Professor Symbology it's worth taking out. I don't even know if I want to. Yeah, we'll still hold it open. You never know. It might be important. We'll see. They might play like, I don't know. It's a very small chance they play like a Redain or something. They go straight for Environmental Sciences, though. Maybe we do blow up the Professor. No, we're probably going to need the Vanishing Verse for things like Wandering Emperor. So let's hang on to it. We'll take the 2 damage. That's fine. Hopeful Initiate. That's fine too. We find ourselves some blue mana. Looks like it's time to foretell this. It's time to foretell that. We'll go for Expressive Iteration here, and then we'll blow up the board. Yeah, this is going to be a healthy Doomscar here. A 4/1 is always nice. Down to 13 though. Iteration. We'd be short by with what, 1 mana for white. Yeah, let's hold off on the Iteration then. Hold off on Iteration, just blow up the board. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and about to be 6 mana for the Kami War. Kami War will be nice. Let's get this in for red. Kami War's an excellent card here. We exile the Legion Angel. Obviously, they're going to continue getting more Legion Angels, which is a bit unfortunate, but we can send it back to their hand next turn too, so that's also fantastic. So if they want to spend the 4 mana here just to waste a turn, they can, and they just do not want to see any more of our deck. They're like, you know what? They got 5 mana down, all the colors they need. It's a wrap. GG's. Mono white goes down. You love to see it. Kami doing its thing, man. The Kami War is a pretty busted card, I can't lie. Not something you want to see hit the battlefield almost at any spot, but love its ability to just exile something right away, like a good Planeswalker like Kaya would do or something like that. It's really, really nice. We've got ourselves an early Doomscar, Binding, and Test of Talents. Kind of answers both creature decks and control. So we'll hang on to it. Yeah, we'll need to see a little bit more from our deck. Hopefully it'll produce. Opponent's on their way to Mythic. Let's hope we can shut him down. Unfortunately, I hate to do that to somebody, but gonna have to do what we gotta do. We are short 1 white source though for the Doomscar. Let's hope that we can get there. See what opponent's doing here though. If it's super aggressive, we might be in trouble just because of the lack of the white source. We'll see. It took a mole. Okay. It's green. Okay, it's gonna be Runes. Got it. Runes is going to be the name of the game, huh? Jukai Naturalist hits right away. All right, Test of Talents is going to be a pretty irrelevant card. It's gonna be fairly irrelevant. I like that we can get rid of that with an easy binding, but not gonna be able to cast the binding for a turn or two, so it's unfortunate that they're able to go first and ramp with the Jukai Naturalist. It's quite the advantage. Let's get that down now. We've got Jund colors and Naya colors, so red, black covered, green, white. We need some more blue. We have no blue, do we? Wow, we have no blue at all, which is fine. I mean, we don't really need blue as far as as most of our colors go. Blue is the least relevant at the moment. Why is my phone going off here? Oh, hold on. I'll have to call them back. All right, so opponent's off to a blazingly fast start here. So we'll drop this down for some white mana here. I think we take another hit, unfortunately, from the creatures they've got built up here. And then we Doomscar the board, because if we Doomscar the board first, then they just build the spirits, and then we binding, that could be pretty bad. So let them just really pump up the board as much as they can here. Fill it on up, we'll Doomscar, everything will look fine. Still looking for a blue land here so I can get the Kami War down at some point. They're pumping up the Jukai Naturalist that has Summoning Sickness, which is great for us. Kind of slows them down a bit. They're losing 3 cards from the showdown too, so a lot of value lost there too. We'd love to see that. If only we had early spot removal for the Jukai Naturalist, but I think I might have taken out. Yeah, I had some early spot removal, but it didn't pan out, so I took it out. But this deck has been a revolving door of ideas. Believe me, we've been through all the ideas, man. All right, what's the play here? I need to see some more action here. I need to see another creature come down or something. Nothing, huh? All right, we need blue. Got our blue. Blow up the board. And we've got Kami War ready to go. We play this for black, this for red, and then we're good to go, man. We've got everything we need. They've got 4 cards left in hand. Kami War hopefully gets us there. Hopefully they invest a little bit more into the Runeforge champion here. It just stinks that Test of Talents is completely dead in this matchup. Yep, they go for the Rune of Speed. We knew that might have been the case. They're going for damage really fast. Up to a 4/4. Another Rune, though, gets them up to a 5/5, potentially 6/6. The Rune of Speed is what makes everything so much more difficult for us, man. It really, really does. Kami War is definitely the play here, though, because whatever they play next turn, we bounce back to their hand. Slows them down even further. They have to give us back either Doomscar or Binding. Both are very good for us. Okay. Love to see that. Love to see that. All right, we're gonna get the Celestis down first, and then Avabruck. That way we can start gaining some life when it turns to night. The life gain is gonna be pretty relevant, actually. I know it's only 1 at a time, but life gain is life gain. Looks like they're gonna give us back the Doomscar, because why would they give us back the Binding when they've got the Hollowed Haunting out there? I could make it turn to night here. Kind of want to go Vorinclex though. We're 1 mana shy of both. 1 mana shy of both, huh? Okay, I think we're gonna go for it though. I think we need to just get aggressive here. Get mad aggressive here. Vorinclex plus Avabruck is busted because it's going to give double the counters. Next turn we turn it to night and we've got ourselves counters for every creature and hexproof. There's the scoop. We did it with 3 life. Let's go. Oh my god. Runes was a tough cookie to crack, especially with 2 Test of Talents in hand. But I'm so glad we got, scored that away. But next turn, we were going to gain 1 life with the Celestis. Turn tonight, Avabreck was going to transform into a 6/6 and give everything 2 counters a turn, which was going to be 4 counters a turn. And then we were going to go over the top and just absolutely cook them. But GG. All right, that was a really good game that we just had. The ending of that game was so explosive, and that's really what we're looking for, man. Is we're looking for those very explosive end games, and we definitely had one there. This hand is pretty good because we have the Celestis, right? It's any mana that we need, and a Kami War. So let's see if we can get it done. Would love to see the Prismatic Bridge action though. Would love to see Prismatic Bridge get some action. That's kind of why we built this deck. Is the Kami War is great, but I really prefer the Prismatic Bridge to just go off for us. That's what I want to see. I want to see it just go absolutely nuts. Yeah, we'll do this and then black, and then we can hold up the Vanishing Verse. We'll play the World Tree a little later. We'll see if that bites me in the butt. Maybe we don't hold Vanishing Verse. Maybe it's not that important. Yeah, maybe it's not that important for turn 3 here. We'll see. I might regret that. I don't know what we're up against yet. It's Teamer. Teamer colors. And Teamer's usually rampy. Oh, they're going to go 5 colors as well. Okay. They're definitely 5 colors. Let's see how their deck differs from ours. This should be actually really interesting. Should be very interesting. I like the Celestis on turn 3. This card's pretty cool, but you do need an additional land in your hand in order for it to be very good. Whenever it becomes blocked on tap, 3 land you control. That doesn't seem like super great to me. Celestis gets blown up though. That feels pretty good for them. They good game me already. That's pretty brutal. Pretty messed up, man. You're gonna GG me out of the gate like that, huh? All right, we need a second white source. And we can either Broker's Charm, draw some cards here, or we can Wandering Emperor. Either way, pretty good. They're them being able to find the binding turn 4 and going first might actually be a good game. I don't disagree with them on the good game call. Normally it would really anger me, which it kind of did a little bit. I hate those early GGers, but I don't know, man. They're not wrong. The binding did just kind of blow up our entire game. We'll see. All right, we find a blue source. That's nice. And another tap land. Blue, white, green. Does it have any red? It does not have red. Oh, we're shy on red. That would have been so clutch. That would have been clutch, man. Could have got the Prismatic Bridge down on curve. Instead, we're stuck with the Wandering Emperor play, which is still fine. A totally fine play. Vanishing Verse could be the play too, if we don't want them to untap, or if we don't want them to tap down with the Goblin here. Oh man, what's the move? What is the move here? Tricky. It's very tricky. Our World Tree is gonna go off though, so mana won't be any much of an issue anymore. Will not be an issue. Kami War doesn't have a really great target to hit just yet. I guess the treasure is kind of irrelevant if I'm being honest, just because, you know, they've already got so much mana anyways. Kami War eats up my Wandering Emperor. That's fine. I've got my own Kami War for your Kami War, so we'll have a Kami War off. Let's have a war off. The second Kami War is better than the first one, though. I will say that. Going second did actually improve my chances in that respect, but 6 Prismatic Bridge seems like is the play I want, right? But if I don't find another land to play the Vanishing Verse as well, could be annoying. Oh, they play the Prismatic Bridge of themselves. Okay. Jing Ataxius, that's fun. Maybe I should GG them now. How do we play this next turn here? I think we get ahead of them with the Prismatic Bridge. I'm trying to think here. I'm just thinking in my own head right now. Now it's like, do I get down the Prismatic Bridge and make them work for that removal for the turn? Or do I... What's this thing Saga 2 do again? You gain 3 life. Not a big deal. Okay. So, yeah, I think we're fine to play the Prismatic Bridge. It's just kind of awkward. I wish Jin Gataxias would have been land. Land would have been much better in this spot, because I could have played Prismatic Bridge, hold open the Vanishing Verse for the Kiki Jiki. But now we were kind of left with Kiki Jiki on the field with no way to deal with it. So if they find something really juicy off the top, they can copy it. It all comes down to this top deck. I might get absolutely brutalized for doing it this way, but we'll see. Nice. Okay. I mean, not nice, but now it's going to come down to the dice roll to see who gets better rolls here. Would love to see a binding off the top of our deck. That'd be great. Nice. Caretaker's a fantastic card. Caretaker's fantastic. Jin Gataxias is also pretty cool, but I think I want to do... Maybe I do nothing. Turn it to night. Maybe I do nothing, turn it to nighttime. And I could Broker's Charm, Vanishing Verse, whatever the Prismatic Bridge brings down. That seems fine. Alright, all of our stuff has hexproof now. Nice. That is going to be hopefully a shield counter coming in, because I can Vanishing Verse it, no problem. I think I was correct in holding open the Vanishing Verse here on display. They can't destroy my enchantment because it has hexproof. It has hexproof. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. They're gonna copy it, that's fine. They can't really attack into us, though. Alright, we took care of the original Titan. They do get a hasty 7/7 Titan, though. When it enters the battlefield, it gets to do all this nonsense again, which is fine, though, because all of our stuff has hexproof. It can't attack in, so it's all good. It's all good, baby. It is going to turn into daytime, though, because of all the spells being cast here. Okay, there's nothing good in the yard for them to bring back. Because we're working with Exile, baby. You can't binding anything, my G. What are you doing? I mean, I'll take it. Oh, it's still nighttime? I thought they played multiple spells there. Apparently not. Apparently not. That should be game right there. That should be game right there. I should have plussed on the Wandering Emperor before I did that. That's unfortunate. All right, well, they gave us back a Vanishing Verse. Yeah, I should have plussed on the Wandering Emperor. That was a missed trigger there. But hey, we just absolutely dominated an early GG here. You'd love to see that. You'd love to see it. You love to see when your opponent not only good games you early, right? But you love to see the mirror matchup and yours comes out on top. Obviously, you play a bunch of games. The results are going to be different every time. But it feels good, man. It feels good to get one up on your opponent like that. Opponent gets to go first here. If we find one more land, we can get to Celestis. We might be okay. But any sort of disruption in our curve here or plan, we could get absolutely blown out. So let's hope for the best here. Red source off the top would be the bee's knees. But would have to be untapped. Well, no, not necessarily. I probably still wouldn't play the Vanishing Verse. Or the iteration. Probably wait a turn. All right, underdog. Yikes. Yikes. We're in trouble. We're in trouble unless we find a land. I don't know why we haven't found a land yet, but here we are. We're running 26. Like, that's way more than I normally run. 26 lands is a lot more. Tenacious Underdog attacks. They Ob Nixilis the Tenacious Underdog. Shocker. Get a better plan, bro. I'm just kidding. That's actually the best thing you could probably be doing right now. Standard.
I'm not afraid of any of you.
Well, this is just going to be, unfortunately, a complete blowout if I don't find a land off the top here.
And you lose everything.
Yep, I think we're pretty safe to honestly concede here. I hate doing that. I hate conceding this early, but I mean, if even let's just say we go another turn here, they plus these two, we take all this damage. We find another land, we just play a Celestis, we take more damage, they build their board state even further. That's definitely going to be game. There's almost no way to come back from it. I hate conceding that early, but that was, the writing was all over the wall in that one. And I just needed some land. Unfortunately, you leave the third land drop in Arena's hands. That'll happen quite a few, you know, happen quite a lot. All right, that's unfortunate. That's I knew we were gonna have some land troubles. I just didn't know we were gonna have land troubles like that. So like this, Rainbow, man, Rainbow is tough. Rainbow's tough. I had some really sad moments too during play testing, and the mana base, man, it's hard when you're running 5 colors. It is hard. Oh, we got ourselves another 2-land hand. All right, that's better, way better. Okay, now we're talking. This is magic right here. Here we go. We got something brewing here. Got something brewing. We got the Celestis. Don't like to see Grixis though. Grixis means Ob Nixilis, and Ob Nixilis too is that's one card I've found we don't have a great matchup with. But what's great about this, you know, these sorry, I'm thinking. What's great about rainbow colored decks is you can really customize it to any sort of matchup or game plan you want to. If you're struggling with Ob Nixilis, you can put Shadow's Verdict in your deck, you know? You can put anything you want. It's plug and play. There goes our binding. That's fine. As far as things that they could take, that was probably the worst thing that they, or the best thing for us, worst thing for them that they could have grabbed. We have blue, white, green. I want to make sure I can cast this charm this turn. Or do I want to go Celestis? I don't know. Either way, green is fine here because this will be black. Yeah, I'll go with the Broker's Charm. Draw 2. It looks like if they're trying to make us discard, which is kind of weird. If they're making us discard, I don't know why they'd grab a Teachings, but it is what it is. Strange little Grixis deck. It could be Bombardment, and if it is Bombardment, actually grabbing the binding is pretty clutch. Another Doomscar and a World Tree. I think that's the play. I think the Celestis is the play here. World Tree's down. We play this for black next turn. They don't activate the World Tree quite yet. All right, so they're filling their graveyard. So still could be Bombardment, could be Reanimator. Not sure yet. Opponent's running some unique cards here. Spikefield Hazard. Not seeing anything telling me that's Reanimator just yet. If you see a big creature hit the graveyard, you know it's a Reanimator list. It's a land, okay. So far, we're thinking it's Bombardment. That's the best guess. And they think they took away the binding, which they did, but they didn't know we just pulled another one, so could catch them off guard with that. Prismatic Command. Ugh, blows up my Celestis. Feels bad. But Day and Night is on the field, so if we can get it to nighttime before Avabruck hits, that'd be great. All right, they've yet to show me anything worth binding. Let's foretell this. Looks like Doomscar's probably going to be a pretty dead card here in this matchup, but as long as I can keep my hand lower than theirs, the Teachings is essentially a dead card, so. I really hope Bombardment comes down right now, because it would be so much mana consumption and they'd be essentially tapped out. And then we'd bind it. Another binding. I'll take it, man. I'm telling you, I really think this is a Bombardment deck, and if it is, 2 bindings is exactly what we need. Those and Vanishing Verses. Okay. Yeah, all we're seeing are spells, man. That's all we're seeing. Which kind of stinks, because if you think about it, actually, I threw away a test of talents, man. That could have been really helpful. This would have been the matchup for that, huh? It would have been. All right, play your bombardment. Come on. See, that would have been the card right there to hit with the test of talents. That would have been an absolute game changer if I could have hit that. We are in trouble now. If we can't find our Kami War or a Prismatic Bridge here, we're in a lot of trouble. Yeah, I mean, we're finding good tools for removal. Like, we just drew everything we needed to handle an aggro deck, and it is a pure spells deck. Absolutely pure spells deck. We did not expect this, that's for sure. Mascot exhibition, why not? Vorinclex, that's interesting. Could force them to have to remove it. I'm just thinking because I might Doomscar the board, you know? But let's play it. Let's play it. I'm just afraid that by next turn, they mascot exhibition, we're going to have to blow up the board. Looks like they got removal anyway, so. 2 spells for 1. I'll take it. I'll take that all day. I'll take that all day. Mascot exhibition comes down, I'm sure. Yep. Now we got a good Doomscar. Test of talents. Thank goodness you're here. It's so nice to see you. Oh my god, that couldn't have been a better top deck. All right, we're feeling good now. We're feeling really good. We really just need a really hard focus to invoke despair. There it is. As I say, that's the only card I'm really afraid of at this point in this game. It is a bombardment deck. We knew it. The rest of our hand, not very good. Not very good. The scariest thing now for us to see would be a burn down the house, because those little 1/1s are going to be a nuisance to deal with. We can figure out a way to reshuffle our deck at some point. That'd be great. All right. They finally get rid of the teachings. They've had enough of that, huh? All right. Nothing off the top of our deck really producing just yet, but we did get a test of talents on the Invoke Despair, which was super, super clutch. So I can't be too upset about how things are going down just yet. That is wildly brutal. That is brutal. Well, they're going to feel pretty safe about their bombardment, aren't they? Well, they should feel pretty safe, but I actually still have the answer, believe it or not. Wow, we're 1 land short of actually casting this and holding the Vanishing Verse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They'd have 3, 4 mana left over. I gotta hold the Titan, because if they cast the bombardment, they still have enough mana to trigger an instant speed big score. Oh, they go for the big score now, though. Didn't expect that. All right, bombardment, come on down. Do your thing. All right. I think I can exile at instant speed after they cast their first spell. And that's not good. That is what we did not need to see here. Could use a land off the top here. That way we can get the 5 life back. Man. Kami War. Oh, I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do here. It's only one thing we can do here, but gosh, man, it just feels so bad when you don't know what the heck your opponent's thinking. You think that they're going to play one way and then they don't. All right, we gained the 5 life. We put 2 blockers in front of these little 1/1s. We have no mana for the Vanishing Verse, which feels so bad. They've been waiting for that opportunity because they were afraid of counter magic, I gotta assume. But they get the bombardment down. They're gonna get a free spell. They're probably gonna get super lucky and get a burn down the house trigger from the graveyard pool. Nope, they get a mascot exhibition. That's still pretty darn lucky, I can't lie. Pretty darn lucky. All right, we're gonna attack in him this next turn, and then we're gonna go with Vanishing Verse to Doomscar, probably. Is that the play? Is that the play? I don't know. Is Kami the play here and just holding defensive lines? Maybe that's the play. I think Kami might be the play here. Because I can bounce one of these tokens too and then make them discard a card. No attacks, play defensively, and then we gain life with the Celestis slowly but surely. That's a big desperation play. I like that. If they crack the Celestis, we know they're in trouble. But I also get to trigger mine and get a little bit of life gain. I'm actually going to decline though because I really like my card. And if we get another good top deck, we might regret throwing it in the graveyard. So let's just gain the life here. Looks like they got a pretty tough decision ahead of them here. I do have another exiling spell for their bombardment, so I'm hoping maybe they pulled the bombardment because then they would probably cast it here with me being tapped down, and then they wouldn't be able to cast the spell, and I'd get it next turn. We're looking pretty good, man. Question is, do I take the 4? I don't think I do, unfortunately. I think I take the 3. Mitigate as much damage as possible because they've shown us some burn spells like play with fire, so we personally can't play with any fire. Did they have the Maestro's charm? They do. They can just burn me in any second here. They could burn me any second here and kill me. So to avoid that, I'm gonna crack the Celestis immediately so I don't get Maestro's charmed to death. All right, hit him for 7. We're down to 4. We're still really afraid here. We're really afraid of the Maestros, but we're gaining life slowly but surely. They did not opt for the card draw twice now, which means they had what they needed, which was the bombardment. Bombardment's gone. They draw 2 cards. Wow, they still get the trigger with the bombardment. That's pretty crazy. I was actually curious about that, whether or not they were going to get the trigger off or not, but looks like they do, which is pretty broken. Pretty broken. Give me something good. I need something good here. We're getting so close. We've dealt with 2 bombardments. We got to find another Vanishing Verse just to ensure safety here. That's not terrible. That's not terrible. It's more life gain for, you know, if there's creatures and stuff like that, but I don't think I'm going to need it for that. I need something good here, man. Prismatic Bridge would be sweet, but they've drawn some sort of removal. Yeah, that's good, unfortunately. Shoot. Doomscar's not going to cut it. Doomscar is definitely not going to cut it. Man, this Celestis is really getting me back into this game with this life gain. Well, World Tree is going to be a lot worse than Doomscar, I would assume. Opponent at 16. Man, if they find another bombardment, we're toast. Big score. 14 cards left in their deck. They've got to be coming up on one soon here, I would imagine. Oh man, they are sending it. 12 cards. They're gonna mill themselves out. This is for sure gonna be a mill out, because even if they do, let's say, find the bombardment, 12 cards, man, and most of your deck is spells, like drawing and cycling cards out. Gonna be kind of close, that's for sure. And they've got a lot of mana here because that treasure, but let's put some more pressure on them here. Let's put some more pressure on them here. This is a really crazy game, man. Absolutely take action here. Oh, come on, give me something I can use. There we go. Talk about a card I can use. Let's go, dude. This is the absolute shutdown king of their deck here. Dude, Jin Gitaxias is going to put an absolute shutdown on the rest of their game. GG's. GG's. If they find a bombardment, that's still really good. I will give them that. That is still really good. But Jin Gitaxias is going to copy the first spell they cast. Or not copy, but it's going to counter the first spell they cast. There it is. That must mean they have a pretty good spell here to follow it up with. Bombardment. That wasn't going to get countered either way. Ah, nice, nice, nice. All right, that's a way to go. That's a way to go. But that's still GG's, my friend, because it was a second spell you cast that turn. You don't get the copy. Feels bad, man. Is Burn Down the House of the sorcery speed card too? Yeah, that Jin Gitaxias did technically beat them there because it forced them to play the sorcery speed, Burn Down the House second. So what they should have done is they should have played the bombardment out, because it wouldn't have gotten countered by the Jin Gitaxias. Then played that cheap spell that got countered, this one here, and then Burn Down the House. But either way, good game. Let's go. That will conclude today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay footage. This was a lot of fun for me to play. I finally got to dive into 5 colors. It's been a long time coming, like I said in the beginning of the video. I can't believe it's been this long since we even attempted at a rainbow deck. I don't know. I guess I've been so scared to try it, but I was really excited, man. I'm really happy how it came out. I'm happy with the outcome, but I also am excited to kind of continue tweaking this and making it a little bit better, because I do have some ideas on how to make it a little bit better. But before I dive into that any further, I just want to say a huge shout out and thank you to everyone who's made it this far into the video. It does help so much with the YouTube algorithm. So thank you so much for sticking around and supporting the channel. I do appreciate you so much for that. With that being said, let's talk about it. So first off, I'm just going to be blunt about it. I think we need to cut Test of Talents. Did Test of Talents come in clutch for us today? Sure. I mean, it's really, really good in some spots. Like I just kind of explained in the intro. Invoke Despair gets blown up with this thing, which is bonkers, and then you kind of shut down a lot of what Mono Black's trying to do, and sometimes Orzhov. But for the most part, I didn't see too many options for Test of Talents to hit really, really hard. We keep in mind, we get a lot of play testing prior to this videos being recorded, and we even played some games after on stream and post video. So I got a bigger sample size than what you might have seen, and I don't think Test of Talents has enough targets out there right now to be viable. So I think cutting this would be a pretty good idea. And then Kami War also was one of those things where I just am not sure about it, because if we're going with the Kami War route, great. Like we can really just focus and hone in on the Kami War, make it more of like a reanimator deck. But that's not what we're doing, man. We're really hard focusing on a Prismatic Bridge. So maybe cutting the Kami War and adding in maybe one additional Vorinclex, just to make sure that we try to prioritize hitting that first over everything. As far as our creatures go, that could be great. There's so many cards you could pick and choose from to replace these types of cards, like Test of Talents and Kami War. You can go for either more creatures that you want to draw with the Prismatic Bridge, or you can go the route of trying to hang on one moment. Sorry, we had the kiddos walk in here and ask me questions. Anyways, yeah, so as far as things that you could add into the deck, you can just throw in a bunch more control spells. You can obviously add in more removal if you're seeing more of that stuff. You can add in some hand hate. That's the beauty of this deck, and that's what excites me for the more creativity side of things, is that you can make these adjustments and you can get more value in other spots. as far as you can look any color, you can look at any single color you want and really go for what you might feel is, you know, gonna counter the meta pretty hard. So that's really, really fun. Last card I want to talk about, I think Jin Gitaxias, again, might make more sense with the Kami War and trying to reanimate stuff. But as far as like what we're trying to do, there's not a whole lot of instant and sorcery spell action for us to copy. So Jin Gitaxias is not really the strongest card as far as trying to really maximize its abilities. So this one you might want to cut and rethink about maybe a potentially different creature to put in the deck. Something like maybe a Coma or another threat like that. Something that might play well with the Vorinclex. I'm not sure what that would be, but you know, something with counters. But ultimately I like the deck. I think it's a lot of fun. That's all I really got to say on the whole thing. I just want to give you guys again another shout out for making this far in the video. Thank you so much. Happy Friday. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. We're gonna get grinding on our next 5 videos this weekend. Before I hop out of here, as always though, huge shout out goes to the Marty Mob, man. Thank you guys so much for being part of the Marty Mob, the membership program here on the channel. It means the world to me. It helps so much with the growth of this channel and just the future of this channel. So thank you so much for everything you guys do for me and all of your support. If you guys want to know more about the Marty Mob, you can hit the join button down below or the link in the description. But until next time, guys, we'll see ya. Peace.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Fizzy, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. With the upload, man. Man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, the meta. This ain't